Namaste and a very warm welcome to all the viewers of MAARGASHEERSHA program. And first of all, let me start with wishing everyone a very, very happy Sankranti, Pongal, Lori, and all the beautiful celebrations that is going on today all over the world. So today is the 14th day, day 14 of our MAARGASHEERSHA program. I just want to give a little introduction of Swara Sadhan and the Margashisha program. This is the maiden program of Swara Sadhan itself and the maiden program for the year 2021. And we successfully completed 13 days of the program starting from January 1st till today. And so first I want to start with thanking all the participants, all the gurus and teachers of DFW area, and also Sri S. Vishwanathan, who's Sai uncle to all of us, who started this program with the divine blessings of Shirdi Sai Baba, who is very near and dear to all of us, to me also. So day one was the Sri S. Vishwanathan Sai uncle's satsang on Shirdi Sai Baba. He gave an elaborate lecture on how to overcome anxiety and which we all needed for this troubled times. Then second day two was performed by students of me from Saptaswara School of Music. And I would like to thank all the parents who and the students who participated. It was lovely. Um, and day three was by um, Day three was a violin recital by Trinity School of Music. So I want to thank Guru Srimati Sita Jayant and all the performers. They did an awesome job. It was wonderful. Day four was we had a variety of Kuchipudi dance performance by Guru Parampara School of Arts. Guru Srimati Hemamalini Chawli trained all her students and they did an amazing job. Day four was the Hindustani music recital uh, by Madhur School of Music. And I want to thank Srimati Seema Bhattacharya and her students for giving an awesome program. And day five was by students of Srimati Preeti Satyanarayanan, a Bharatanatyam dance recital. You can see that I have to go and look at it because it was a variety of programs we had for all the 14 days. So I have to look at my sheet to make sure that I'm coming out with the right school and the right teacher so that it falls in place. So that was day 6 by students of Preeti Satyanarayanan, Bharatanatyam recital, awesome program. Then again, we had a violin recital by um, Thirumalai Fine Arts, students of Thirumalai Fine Arts. Guru Srimati Satyabama Krishnan um, did an awesome job training her students, and it was very well received by everyone, all the viewers. Then next day was Odissi dance performance by students of Srimati Krishnaveni Putrevu. Um, then next day was Madhuradvani School of Music, whose guru is none other than my dear co-host Srimati Nandini Kambi. Uh, she did an awesome job training all her students, and they did a wonderful performance. That was on Saturday. I think it was on day 9, right? Next day was another variety we had, which is a drama, comedy drama. It was really hilarious. We all enjoyed it. It was in Tamil. It was a Tamil comedy drama. It was very good. And that was done by a ladies group from Frisco. Again, it is led by our multi-talented host, Srimati Nandini Kambi. It was awesome, Nandini. Then next day we had a flute recital by students of Sri Gautam Narsimha Prasad. Um, very good. From tiny tots to senior students performed in that program. It was really very nice. Then we had a mandolin recital by Sri Ravi Rao. Um, that was also very nice. And I have to mention something about Sri Ravi Rao and thank him. He actually, Sri Ravi Rao actually gave the sound effects for all our flyers. Thank you very much, Sri Ravi Rao, for doing this awesome job. If everyone had looked at all the flyers, you all must have noticed that he had put the appropriate background music for each flyer, representing the theme of the program itself. That was really very nicely done. Thank you so much for that. And then we had another Bharatanatyam recital by students of Anjali Nandan. Anjali Nandan, madam, you did an awesome job training all your students. Again, it was we all could see the effort that you had taken to put it all together, um, especially for a dance performance, to put all the students together remotely and then bringing it all together is not an easy job. So thank you so much. Then yesterday was a beautiful violin recital by the students of uh, Sri Venkatraman Subramaniam. I don't need any introduction for Sri Venkatraman Subramanian. He's a very senior violinist, vocalist, musician of DFW area. Everyone knows him, and all the students did an outstanding job. And now we have come to day 14. Day 14 is today is going to be, you all must be wondering what is going to happen today. So today is it will be a beautiful, uh, beautiful discourse, a very special discourse um, about this month itself. What is Margashirsha, and what does it represent, and so many other features about this month itself by Sri Sundara Krishnaswami. Before I hand it over to uh, Srimati Nandini Kambi, I want to thank uh, Nandini herself. It is This is the first time actually we are working together organizing something. I have worked with her in the past on other programs, but this is the first time we are working together as organizers. And I have to tell, she is an outstanding co-host, and it was my pleasure, really my pleasure, and God's grace that I was able to work with such an amazing
Spread the
person
link.
like
I got to go on now. This is the
Nandini
link. That's the link.
Kambi.
Spread to everyone.
So now I request Srimati Nandini Kambi
Close the door,
to
please.
please introduce Sri Sundara Krishnaswami and about today's program. Sorry, I took a long time, but I have to take this much time to thank everyone. This program would not have been a huge success like it is without the help of so many people and many who worked to make this a grand success. My heartfelt thanks to all of you. Thank you.
That was a wonderful introduction. Jyoti ji, thank you so much. Yes, it was beautiful to work with you. Very nice for both of us to come together. Very divine intervention, I would say. And I think, in spite of COVID, all the 13 teachers, 14 of them that we worked with, were very nice to agree and work very hard to, coordinate with their students, edit the videos, and able to give us wonderful program. I also noticed some of my friends and some parents had no idea about certain artists that live in the Dallas Metroplex. They had no idea. Somebody in Plano had no idea about somebody in Flower Mound or Coppell. So this was nice because it was a great exposure to bring in so many of these teachers and introduce them to other people. So that was very nice. I really enjoyed that. And as you said, Ravi Rao, and who played the mandolin, and his wife Seema Rao have to be thanked. They put in a lot of effort for our flyers and giving a background music for all of that. So I really liked that. I have to thank them. They were very nice to do that for us. So it was wonderful. I just want to give a quick introduction about our guest today, Sundara Krishnaswami Mama. He's a retired senior executive in the oil, from the oil industry. His wife is a beautiful bhajan singer. A lot of people in Plano know Srimati Anusuya. He has two wonderful daughters. He was always attracted to spirituality from a young age. I got this intro from one of his fans and a person that attends his classes. So she's given in-depth intro about him. He has learned at the feet of several noble souls and saints. There's too many to name today. But whatever he has learned, he has been very grateful, and he pays his humble respects, particularly to Kanchi Mahaperiva, Swami Chinmayananda, Swami Dayananda, Ramakrishna Mission, name a few. And journey with these masters has also brought him to the lotus feet of Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba, for which he's eternally grateful. So he's been teaching chant various shlokas and Vedas to a lot of people in US, in India, globally. And he also gives a lot of importance on how to utilize these in our daily lives. He's been a great leader. A lot of people look up to him to transform their lives. They all lovingly call him Anna. And he has a wonderful blog. Some of you can go and check out. He has a lot of articles written about Vedas, about scriptures, about our festivals, about our traditions. He has a YouTube link also where videos of these are there. So we will definitely let you know, and I'm sure he will also give you an introduction about his blog. We are very happy that we are ending this event with a wonderful, uplifting and positive discourse today. So without much further ado, Mama, Krishnaswami Mama, you can take the stage. Thank you.
Om Shri Sai Ram. Sumukascha ekadantarcha kapilo gajakarnakaha lambodarascha vikato vigna rajo vinayakaha धूमकेतुर गणाध्यक्षः पालचंद्रो गजाननः वक्रतुंडः सूर्पकर्णो हेरंबः स्कंदपूर्वजः शुक्लां भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये यस्य द्विरदवक्त्राद्याः पारिषद्याः परस्ततं विघ्नं निघ्नन्ति सततं विश्वक्सेनं तमाश्रये गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. My humble and loving namaskarams at the lotus feet of my dearest master, my guru, my everything, Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba, and my loving namaskarams to every one of you. Now, the topic given today is MAARGASHEERSHA, the Royal Toll-Free Highway. When you look at our life, we have lots of bandhangal. Bandhangal means not only bondage, but also connection, connectivity. I want to go and get a 2% milk from Brahms. I want to go and buy a car or a sari or go and eat in a restaurant, whatever it may be. They're all connections, attractions to us. These we call as bandham. Now, underlying all this, there is a sambandham, which is the most beneficial connectivity, the connection. We all have, each one of us, you, me, every one of us, all the jantukar, even a cockroach for that matter, we all have that Isvara Sambandham, Bhagavat Sambandham. And the Taittiriya Upanishad says, this is Prema Eva, only love. Love is our underlying current that connects you and me without any change whatsoever at all times. This is the connection we have. That is Bhagavat Sambandham, that is Isvara Sambandham, that is Prema Sambandham. Now, if I'm really connected to it, how come I'm not able to really realize it, isn't it? So the pathway that shows me this truth, this phenomenal bliss of Isvara Sambandham, that is MAARGASHEERSHA. MAARGASHEERSHA. The Saint Tyagaraja calls this as Chakani Raja Margamo. Okay, the most royal path. This is the path of love. Now, in Sanskritam, each padangal has a very precise meaning. If I say, for example, Rava Kesari, you know exactly what it means. If I say table, you know what it means. Like that, Margasheersham has a very specific meaning. Margam means path. Sirisha means the most exalted, the supreme most, the best, the highest path. So we are talking of the most exalted, most beneficial pathway that for us to lead our life. Now, as we travel on any road, any pathway, we go through several milestones, right? That's something we recognize, some we don't recognize, but we do cross milestones. The same way, in our repeated cycles of births and deaths that each one of us has gone through and is going through, there is an important milestone that we have reached. You and I have reached this milestone. This is the birth as a human being. And the difference, of course, is that having been born as a human being, I'm given this most precious chance of seeking what this Margasheersham is and conducting my life, traveling along that path. This is the reason I'm given human birth, and this is the reason you are given human birth. No other reason. So this Margasheersham we are already in the path, the divine path, but an important milestone where we have to consciously seek out and conduct ourselves to travel along this path. The Bhagavan says in the Gita that aham masanam margasheersha. Now, how come, Swami, you are present at all times in all phases, past, present, future, everywhere? Why specifically Margasheersham? You say that I am Masanam Margasheersha. Among all the months, I am Margasheersham. Why does he say that? Why do you say that, Swami? So the question comes. And this is a question Arjuna also asks him. And Swami himself answers that. And he says, Yat yat vibhuti mate Sattvam Srimat Urjvam Eva Va Tattat Eva Avagacha Tvam Mama Tejomsa Sambhavam. I'll repeat it once and give you the meaning. Yatat Vibhutinat Sattvam Srimat Urjvam Eva Tvam Tattat Eva Avagacha Tvam Mama Tejomsa Sambhavam. Among all the effulgences that we cognize in this world, with our body as well as with our mind, infinite that we go through every day, there are certain specific experiences, specific instances, specific qualities of time, right, that immediately bring us closer to Bhagavan. So Swami says in this slokam, among all the manifestations I have, whichever one gives you the wealth of knowledge to realize the unity in diversity, understand that I am present there. That is my specific effulgence. Now, Margasheersham, the month, how come it has got this specific power? We all know in the month of Margasheersham, Margari, as we say in Tamil, all of us look forward to that month. There is something incognizable, but definitely present there, a divine touch that we all go through, isn't it? So there is something very specifically extra divinity shining in that month. How come it is so? Let us see this, okay? And our elders say, whatever I'm sharing with you is what I learned, what I understood to be the teaching from the masters, okay? And with my limited understanding, please keep that in mind. Now, the elders tell us that 6 months of your and my time, the human time, so to speak, is 1 day for the Devas and the Pitrus. So 6 months is a day and a 6 months is a night. The 6 months that going from, let us say, middle of January, starting today, for example, okay, to middle of July, the 6 months, that is called Uttarayanam. That is the day period for the Devas. Now, the other 6 months, mid-July to mid-January, is called Dakshinayanam, which is the night period for the Devas. Now, very interestingly, we got to relate our life to the Devas because it is the Daivic influence that operates you and me, right? If I'm able to see, it is because of a Daivic power behind it. Please understand it. If I'm able to speak, there is a power behind it. Now, each one has got an appointed Deva for that. Okay, Swami Sriman Narayana has delegated also to different departments, so to speak. Okay, even though he's present in total, in undiminished form in everything, but each little bit does their job, like you and I. Now, the 6 from mid-July to mid-January, the night period of Devas, what happens? A beautiful thing takes place. It happens in our daily life also, except we don't pay attention to it because of lack of discipline today. But it was very much present even, I would say, maybe 30, 40, 50 years ago, it was very much present. Anyway, for today, the night period of Devas, what happens is they go through, and then before they wake up, they go through a period called Brahma Muhurtam. This Brahma Muhurtam is extremely important because even in our life, we have morning 3:30. Lord Krishnaswami was born at that time, as you all know. And that is the time if I really wake up and if I focus on the favorite form of my God, whatever form it may be, it's perfectly okay, but focus only on that. Then I see myself seated on the table along with all the Devas to have Bhagavan Darshan. That's what exactly happens. So in the Brahma Muhurtam of Devas, the period starts actually in what we call as, in English months, the August, September, the Avani Masam. An important festival takes place. Our elders have given us a series of festivals that not to necessarily to make merry and all that, that's important, but more important is to connect to this Bhagavan, to Bhagavat Sambandham. What happens in Avani, what happens in August, September period, a most important festival in our whole series of festivals we have is called Mahalaya Paksham. Now, many people are not even aware of that. That's a festival where we express gratitude and contentment. It's very important. Now, if I do that properly, gratitude and contentment, then I move on to the next festival that follows Mahalaya Paksham, which is Navaratri. And Navaratri is nothing but the 3 Shaktis we have, isn't it? Icha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, and Kriya Shakti. So by thoughts, words, and actions, they are purified and they are in unison. I worship that. By doing that, Vijayadasami, I overcome the enemies, the 6 enemies I have. Now what has happened to me? I'm contented. I'm grateful for everything that's been given to me and not given to me also. That's equally good. And my mind, my words, my thoughts and words and actions are unison. They are purified. And I overcome the 6 enemies that I have. Then the light of love in my heart is shining. That is Deepavali that comes after that. I see that. Then after that, what happened? The light is kept shining. Sustenance is important, continued practice. The moment I do that, what we call as Kartigai. That happens after that, in the month of November, December. Then at this stage, I am now completely purified, well, so-called qualified to have Bhagavan's darshan. Then happens Vaikuntha Ekadasi. This Vaikuntha Ekadasi is nothing but all my senses and mind are completely under control and focused only on Bhagavan, because it's a pure heart, isn't it? Then Vaikuntha Ekadasi, what happened? What we call as a door opening. Bhagavan actually is Dwaraka Mai, as that lady said when we worshipped Shirdi Sai Baba at the beginning of this series of programs. Dwaraka Mai means he has no doors actually. Bhagavan, you can approach in any directions, anywhere. But I have to look to him, right? So that's what I do in Vaikuntha Ekadasi. And then what do I see? Arudra Darsanam. That happens. Now, the MAARGASHEERSHA month, which is middle of December to mid-January, is phenomenal because I'm now purified, my mind is purified, focused on Bhagavan, focused on love, and then I get the darshan of Bhagavan, Arudra Darsanam. Now, so that is the reason this MAARGASHEERSHA month, the Masam, Bhagavan says, Aham Masanam MAARGASHEERSHA. There is a divine quality for that. Now, if I do the prescribed practices that given to me by my elders and scriptures, come Margari Masam, I will have the same darshan that Andal had. That none other than Bhishmacharya chose this period, isn't it? To give us Vishnu Sahasranamam and waited for Uttarayanam to merge with Bhagavan. Now, what happens today, the end of Margashirsha, this Margashirsha, the royal path, the most exalted path, takes us to a goal, isn't it? So the goal is Uttarayanam. Uttara Ayanam. Uttara means to lift yourself up. Ayana means moksham, Vaikuntham, the place of no return. So I have to lift myself up to reach this place, is moksham. But Bhagavan's place will definitely be there. And that is what Bhishmacharya did. This is the prescription for Margashirsha, the month. Okay. Now, is Margashirsha only a month or is it more than that? Now, before I continue, I believe we are live. So if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, or observations, please include it in your chat and I'll try to interact with you on that. Now, continuing, Margashirsha is definitely a month, but it is more than a month. And it is also the present moment. The present moment opens infinite doorways to the royal road to reach Bhagavan. Infinite doorways. Again, Taittiriya Upanishad says, Tasmin Sahasrasakhe. Tasmin Sahasrasakhe. Infinite branches it has. The branches of love. That is, I'm completely immersed in. That is what it is. I can hold on to any branch, lift myself up, if I do that in the present moment. So Margashirsha, the royal path, has got infinite entrances. Every one of them is toll-free. I don't have to pay anything at all. I just have to give up. I don't have to pay anything. It's simple. All I have to do is to love. It's as simple as that. And there are several ways that Bhagavan gives. Any way I can take, I can approach it seriously. Okay, from, as you know, Arjuna got it done through confusion, absolute confusion, right? And so whatever, or you see Ratnakar, what did he do? Right? He was a thief, but how did he transform? So there is nothing good or bad. There is nothing exclusive or special or secretive. The only requirement is the opening the doorway of my heart of love and love Bhagavan exclusively and totally. That's all I have to do. And I can do that in infinite ways. And some of the prescribed ways, and the one in my humble opinion, probably the easiest and the most neglected. The easiest one to do and the most neglected one probably is this. If worship your mother and father as embodiment of God, embodiment of Bhagavan himself. If you worship Krishna, worship them as embodiment of Krishna, or Rama, embodiment of Rama. Whatever you worship her, worship them as embodiment of that form. And prostrate, do namaskarams to them if possible, every day, daily, and take their blessings. I think Swami says, if everyone in the world falls down, prostrates to their parents every day and takes their blessings, there will be no problem in the world. This is the easiest, the simplest, and what seems to me most neglected one, unfortunately. Okay, that is one royal road. Okay, second one example I'll give you. It is extremely important, also very easy to do, is to be grateful. Being grateful for what I have and being grateful for what I don't have. And along with that gratitude, the gratitude is a human quality, very important. I can't overemphasize that. And along with that comes contentment. Contentment does not mean passivity. Please understand that. Contentment does not mean I've given up. Okay, everything is fine, I will not do anything. It is absolutely not at all. In fact, it's prohibited. Inaction, laziness, procrastination, these are all prohibited in our scriptures, okay, in our way of life. So, what is contentment? Contentment is I do any work that is given to me to the best of my ability. As worship, work is worship. As an agent of Bhagavan. See, let me tell you a small anecdote, a small story. It's very important. You know, on the Kishkinta mountains, all the monkeys have gathered. The Sarat Rutu, the rainy season is over. Rainy season is over. And Rama was seated on a rock. Lakshmana was standing to one side. On the other side was Sugriva was standing. And there was literally crores, millions of monkeys all on all the hills there. And Rama was sitting there and kind of looking at all of them. And each one of them felt very happy. When Bhagavan's kataksham falls on you, I mean, it's a incredibly exhilarating, fulfilling, peaceful, so blissful experience you have when Swami looks at you. Even though he's looking at you all the time, but when your eye contact, it's something else. And so when then he saw Hanuman there, and he said, Hanuman, the way Bhagavan calls you is just raises your eyebrow. That's immediately you know. So immediately you rush there, Hanuman goes to him, kneels down. And then Rama asks him, Hanuman, can you do one thing for me? Now when Bhagavan asks you, will you do one thing for me? What will your answer be? Hanuman said, Swami, sure, with your anugraham. No, then Rama takes out that kanayali, that ring, and gives it to Hanuman and tells him, will you hand this over to Sita, please? Hanuman immediately takes it. Sure, Swami, with your anugraham, I will do it. And puts it in his dhoti so that it doesn't fall down. It makes a knot around it. And then Rama asks him, Hanuman, have you seen Sita? No, Swami, I have not seen. Do you know where she is? No, Swami, I don't know where she is. Then how come with so much assurance and certainty you're telling me that you will give it to her? Then Hanuman says, Swami, this is my work. It is your work. You have given it to me. You will get it done through me. What am I to worry about? That is the essence of every piece of work you and I get. Okay, it is not my work or your work. It is Bhagavan has chosen to do the work through me, through you. As simple as that, nothing more. So it will get done the way he wants to get it done. My job is to not stand in the way do it to the best of my ability that he has given me as worship to him, as his agent, to please him, most important, okay? Mat karmakrit, mat paramo, mat bhaktaha. Very important, and devoted to him lovingly. That is another beautiful, practical entrance to the royal road, to the MAARGASHEERSHA. Very easy to do. Once you put your mind to it, it is not that difficult at all. And another one I'll share with you. There are infinite ways, but I'm just sharing with you a few of those today. Now, I must learn to do all my work, in fact, my whole life, to be very frank, in the service of others, to make others happy, others comfortable. Others' happiness comes before mine. Why? Because when others are happy, I'm happy. Very simple. Young age, I learned a beautiful lesson from Kanchi Paramacharya. I'll share it with you. Very young age, it impressed me so beautifully. One young boy was carrying a banana, and he was extremely hungry. He was about to open the banana and eat it. Another hungry boy comes. Hey, can I have? I'm also very, very hungry. This first boy gave the whole banana to him, and the second boy ate all of it. The net result was both of them felt full. The first boy, even though he didn't eat anything, he was also full. This is so true. When you serve others, when their needs are fulfilled, when their suffering is alleviated, how happy you feel. So that is the Iswara Sambandham, that I may not see it, I may not cognize it, but it is very much there as a foundation. So I must pay attention to that and sacrifice. Another short story I'll share with you. Again, it's an unbelievable story that I learned. It moved me very much. When Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, and Shatrugna were young boys in the palace, one evening they were all playing ball outside. Dasaratha was seated there. Boys were playing, and all of a sudden, Kausalya was also there. All of a sudden, Bharata came running. And he came to Kausalya and said, Amma, and he came actually running crying. And Kausalya said, Bharata, why are you crying? What happened? No, what did this Rama do? This Rama, what he did? And Kausalya said, what did Rama do? She said, this Rama allowed me to win in our game today. He let me win. Now, 2 minutes later, Rama comes in there, running in, and he was so happy. He said, Amma, what happened today? Bharata won. I said, what? When I heard this story, I was taken aback. So it is very important to revel in the success of others. Very important to allow others to succeed. Yes, competition is very important. I must compete with myself, not with others. Do the best of my ability, but let others win. It's another beautiful feeling that happens in your mind that allows you to traverse the path of love and become more loving. A couple more. If based upon my understanding and my own experience, so I can definitely affirm to this, okay? I don't need to rely on anybody's interpretations also, because in spirituality, there is no such thing called interpretation. Okay, that interpretation is in the realm of intellect. That doesn't wash. What is important is experience. The anubhavam, where pratyaksham with 100% certainty, you know what the truth is. Even when your mother says that is not right, you will not believe her. That actually happened to me because I know this is true, right? So if I were to give a very brief algorithm, okay, to happiness, very simple. Sacrifice is equal to happiness. Sacrifice is equal to peace of mind. Acquisition and acquisitive desire and acquisitive crave is exponentially equal to misery. So what does it mean? How do I live? do the job I have. Sacrifice mentality is very important, but whatever is due to me will definitely come to me. Yal labase dija karmopatam vittam, as Adi Shankara Bhagavad says. Tena vinodaya chittam, be happy with it. So sacrifice, 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 very important. To begin that, feeling on desire. Reduce one desire, that's enough, and see what happens. Your happiness goes up exponentially. Just one desire, give up. Your happiness goes up exponentially. Another one. Another entrance to the toll-free entrance to the Royal Freeway, MAARGASHEERSHA, is practice developing constructive thoughts, kind words, and compassionate action. These three are very important, practical, and another pathway that takes me to the Royal Road. Bhagavad Gita, Swami says, emphasizes from beginning to end. Okay, for most of us are working machines. Please remember that. Most of us, he says karma pala tyagam. Karma pala tyagam, all of us, nishkama karma. These are all, yes, they're all important Sanskrit phrases, but what they mean is focus only on the work. Don't worry about the result. Don't be concerned with the result. And then what do I do? How do I achieve something? Hey, listen, do the work, the result will come. Bhagavan assures. He says, ma karma pala hetuhu. But he doesn't say na. Okay. He says that every action has got a result, Bhagavan will give. That mentality actually improves my efficiency in doing the work. Okay. Most of us struggle, get into stress and all that because we want to achieve something by a certain time, but we forget focusing on the work. So karmaneva adhikaraste, very important. Focus only on the work. And then karma pala tyagam, the mental decoupling from the result without diluting one's focus on work and commitment to work. Yogaha karmasu kausalam, you must do the work extremely well, but decouple from the result. Now, this is a most important teaching that Bhagavan gives in Bhagavad Gita. Why is the work is so important? Because you see, just a couple of minutes, let me take why it's so important for you and me. Okay, most of us, if not almost all of us, are working machines only working machines. I am not doing work, the work is doing me. Teaching from Bhagavad Gita, okay? The work is doing me, the natural qualities I have, the three qualities make me work. If you don't believe me, when the weather is good, when the weather is appropriate, go and lie down on the bench in a park and say, I'm not going to do anything. Just lie down and see what happens. Okay, in a short while, you will get up and you will want to do something. Mind will be thinking all the things you've got to do. Those are the qualities, natural qualities, rajasic, tamasic, sattvic qualities we have. So understand one, very important, the work is doing me, not the other way around. Now, having said that, I'm a working machine, right? So the work is being done through me. If I don't pay attention to not pay attention means not desire, not be concerned with the result. Swami, you take care of the result. Thank you for giving me the opportunity, ability, time to do this work and giving me the work also, right? Tomorrow, Bhagavan may give you, go and hand over ring to Sita, who knows, right? So must be prepared for whatever he gives. So the thing is, the karma palatyagam, so I'm a working machine. Now, what type of work do I do? The scientific study says, each one of us, or not each one of us, on average, we have about 50 to 80,000 thoughts per day. 50 to 80,000 thoughts per day. And 7,000 to 20,000 words we speak per day. And we do about 50 to 200 activities per day. Just imagine 50 to 200 activities per day. Now, what Bhagavan says, hey, listen, I'll give you another easy way. Come on, the entrance to the freeway is open. I mean, there's no doorway. Just Put your foot there and start coming. Come on, come on. He says, what is he say? Yat karoshi, yadasnosi, yat juhosi, tapasyasi, dadasiyate, yat tapasyasi, tat kurushva kaunteya, mat arpanam. They repeat it once, I'll give you the meaning. So beautiful, these are all very practical teachings. Yat karoshi, yadasnosi, yat juhoshi, dadasiyate, yat tapasyasi, tat kurushva kaunteya, mat arpanam. What you do, what you eat, whatever you enjoy, whatever charity you give, whatever penance you take, whatever disciplines you undertake or not undertake, doesn't matter. Hey, do it, arpanam. Offer it to me, offer it to me, offer it to me. That is what he says. That I can do, right? I think a bad thought, I think a good thought, or what I think is a good thought or a bad thought, right? I don't know what is good or bad. Let me tell you one very important anecdote again, if I may. I don't know. I hope I'm not exceeding the time. See, once what happened, Swami Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba had come to Chennai in Sundaram, and the bhajans were over. And after the bhajans, sweets were prasadam was distributed, and Swami was standing by the doorway. And those of you who are familiar with Sai organization know how disciplined they are, how cooperative they are, and how humble they are, really, the sevadals. And so the sevadals were working in a beautiful efficiency. You know, one was putting this rava kesari or whatever the sweet was on a plate, and another one was carrying it, is passing on, and third one was, a number of them was taking to people sitting outside on the lawn. It was going in a beautiful line. And the Swami was standing by the doorway and watching all this. And one of the plates had a very small amount of that sweet, not the normal amount all the other plates had. So that center president said, please go and put some more. He saw that. And then Swami said no. He stopped him. So this Sevadal took the plate with a small amount of halwa or whatever it was, and he took it back, went to the lawn outside to give it to the people waiting. Now the center president was curious, inquisitive. He said, what on earth now? This had such a small quantity, and everybody else was getting nice, one full currandi or whatever. This guy got maybe a spoon or whatever. And Swami said, you allowed it. So he wanted to know what on earth was happening. So he was following that particular plate. Where is it going? Right? From there. And then this was given to an elderly man seated there somewhere in the back. So this president immediately walked to him and said, sir, have you had enough prasadam? That man started crying. He said, sir, Swami is so loving. I'm a diabetic. He knows I can have only a little bit, right? And that is an eye-opener. Bhagavan knows what is good for you, what is good for me. When to give you, when to give me, how to give you, how to give me, how much to give you, how much to give me. Okay, so I don't know what is good or bad, only Bhagavan knows. So whatever I think is good, whatever I think is bad, because good and bad change with time. We all know that food we take, which is good, what happens to it after 4 hours or 6 hours? It becomes bad. I can't keep it. So just an example. So everything in life is temporary and changes with time. So Bhagavan only knows what is good or bad at a given moment. So I don't really know that. So my job is, Swami says, mat arpanam, kurushva mat arpanam, mat arpanam kuru. Do that offering to me, do that offering to me. That I can practice, right? Imagine 50 to 80,000 thoughts. If I succeed in offering 50% of that or even 10% of that every day, where will I be, right? Or 70 to 200 actions I do. If I offer 10% of that, where will I be? The words I speak, if I offer 5% of that, where will I be? I will be getting closer to Bhagavan, because when I do the Arpanam, Swami, instead of saying Sarvam Krishna Arpanamastu, that is not what it is. No. Sorry. You must think of Bhagavan in the mind and offer to Swami, please. accept this. This is what I can do right now. Sincerity is most important. So I practice it, I get it. Then I get closer and closer, and then you see what the royal road begins to look like. It is so full of love. Incredible it is. So then Swami says, you can't do any of these things. Okay. Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Don't worry about anything. What is good, what is bad, what should I do, what should I not do? You know, I speak like this, they speak like this. So many problems we have in life. We all focus on problems. Forget to look at all the good things we have. I guarantee you, for every problem we have 10 things that are good minimum. In life, everybody's life, it's like that. Okay, we must train ourselves to look at the positive things. Be cheerful. Okay, in spite of the difficulties. Can anybody think of more difficulty than what Sita went through, or what Kunti Devi went through, what Draupadi went through? Imagine. So we can do that with Bhagavan's grace. It's possible. Okay, we must put faith in him. Now, say, Mamekam Sharanam Braja. Swami, I don't know what surrender is. He said, offer everything to me. What will I do? How will I do it, Swami? Just do the Arpanam. Now here, again, allow me to share another important story that I learned, very important. When Draupadi was in that palace hall and these Rakshasas were trying to humiliate her, okay, humiliate her. And it should not happen to anybody. But that lady, Draupadi, is phenomenal. Such a great amount of faith, unshakable faith in Bhagavan, in Krishna she had. And Krishna protected her. And she was doing everything. And we all know the story from Bhagavatam. She was holding on to a sari. And then she said, Krishna, I leave it, right? She left the complete job to Krishna. It still took a little bit of time. So when finally, after all this episode was over, the only thing there was the Rakshasa, the Dusasana and Duryodhana and that clan were humiliated. But even till time lives, the end of time, they'll be scorned only. And Draupadi's honor and dignity, even to the end of time, even today when we talk about it, is kept intact. And what has happened is the revelation of the glory of Bhagavan through that incident. Isn't it? Even today, we say, oh my God, how loving Krishna is. So Draupadi asked him, after this was over and they were sitting, and Krishna, why did it take you so long to come? And then Krishna said, what will you call me? I said, Dwarakanatha, he said. And then when he said, Hridayavasi, I immediately showed up. So Bhagavan is within me. Trust me. What happened to me in a country outside USA, okay? It's a dictatorial police state. I'd arrived in that country. The next day, I went to see a friend at night. Only I was all alone, fortunately. And my family was not with me at the time. And so I had dinner at friend's house in the evening time. Then I drove the car and parked. There was a signal light. So I parked red. I was the first car. And there was a car to my left side. So it was 2-lane. So I was in the right lane. So with a red light, and it was a T junction. And I had just gone from North America. So our general tendency is you get green, you start moving. And so it became green, so I started moving. I took a left turn. And then what happened, to my left, I saw literally what appeared like a demon. A huge black car hurtling at me at tremendous speed. I don't know, 80 miles an hour or whatever they were doing. Before I realized it, okay, the car had spun around. It hit me right on the driver's side, right where our leg is, left leg is, in that area. And the car spun around. And the next minute I realized I was standing on the road. And the car was complete totaled, and there was not a slightest scratch on me. After, when I was standing on the road, I said, oh my God, I didn't even pray to Swami. I didn't even call Bhagavan. Then I realized what happened that moment is I completely gave up. I didn't, not even the slightest instinct to do anything. When you come to that state, Bhagavan is carrying you in the palm of his hand. Trust me, he is there. So this Bhagavan, where is he? The next question. Arjuna asked him the question, Swami, yes, you are there, you say I'm here, Vibhuti and everything else, I'm in everything. But where are you? Where are you? See, Bhagavan says, and another beautiful lesson I'll share with you, Sarvatas Panipadam, Tat Sarvatokshi Siro Mukham, Sarvatas Strutimal Loke, Sarvam Avritya Tishtati. Swami says, Krishna, Arjuna beautifully describes, where is this love? Where is this prema? Is it something out of this world? No. It has got eyes, it has got hands and feet everywhere. And with eyes, with head, with mouth, and with ears spread all over. It pervades everything and it is established, firmly established, unshakable. What does this mean? This whole thing is nothing but Ksheerasagar, nothing but a samudram, an ocean of love. That is what each one of us are. That is what the whole thing is. It sees anybody who looks at me. It is not somebody. It is Bhagavan looking at me through those eyes. Anybody who speaks to me is Bhagavan speaking to me through those eyes. It's as simple as that. This is the love that is present and protecting me and guarding me and guiding me towards the royal path. Should I not follow what it wants me to do? Repeatedly, Swami is a most patient, persevering persevering teacher, never gives up on the students that I've seen. I also teach, but not unbelievable. The student refuses to learn. Student has got manda buddhi, mudha, as Shankara Bhagavad says. But repeatedly, Bhagavan gives the lesson, repeatedly exhorts. And what does he say? Come on, experience this selfless love. You want to do that? You do one thing. Another beautiful pathway, entrance, is start the day with love. He says, so remember, when I get up, what do I think? Do I think about Bhagavan? Do I think about the favorite form of God I have? Or do I think about the work I have to do, the traffic, taking care of the children, what I'm going to cook? There's so many pressures, or what the news is, what happened, who won the cricket match, whatever it may be. What do I think, really? Right? So, but start the day with love. Very important. Very easy to practice. Then spend the day in love. Repeatedly, I will say, it doesn't matter. Practice. Spend the day in love. Fill the day with love. Then end the day with love. This is the way to God. And this, I asked Swami once, Swami, that's fine. I go to the temple. I have some imagined form of you. Rama is like this. Just because somebody drew a picture of Rama that I've got hanging on my wall, did he really look like that? Did Krishna really look like that? I don't know. It is somebody's imagination that I'm taking, but I should experience, I should see him for myself. But regardless, Swami, I think you are like this. You're so beautiful, Prasanna Vadanam, Surya Koti Samaprabha, Shankha Chakra Gadabani, all the things I say, okay, fine. Incidentally, this Shankha Chakra Gadabani, Swami says very beautifully, Mahavishnu now today comes on the street carrying a Sankam and Chakram with 4 hands. What will we do? We will immediately capture him, put him in a cage and make money out of it, isn't it? That's the mentality we have. But anyway, so I said, Swami, you appear so beautiful to me. Like to go to the temple, Ranganatha, Venkatadharapati Perumal, I mean, whatever, Srinivasapuram, whoever you love, right? Doesn't matter. He's so beautiful. We are so peaceful there. If an Abhishekam is done, whatever it may be. So I picture, I'm so Swami, you look so beautiful to me, right? Now I said, how do we look to you? How do we look to you? I asked him that question once, and I got a beautiful answer. Again, a sublime teaching. Sublime teaching, that's my goal. Not the path now, but the goal. The goal is seen through the eyes of love. All beings are beautiful. All thoughts are innocent. All actions are sacred. That is the goal. And to do that, the pathway is one of love. There's only one royal path in the spiritual journey, and that is love. This is MAARGASHEERSHA. And the present moment offers infinite toll-free entrances to this royal freeway. Are you all happy? Can I finish now? Do you have any questions, comments, thoughts, or observations from anyone?
Mama, there are a lot of comments. Everybody is absolutely enjoying and very grateful that you are presenting this. There's a lot of comments on YouTube.
Should I clip the chat? I just
No. I'm just telling you what is coming on YouTube. So we will not be able to see it. So I'm just telling you that we have wonderful comments on YouTube. They really like the explanation. They're talking about how beautifully and very simply, in a very simple manner, you're explaining a lot of things. I have some questions that I got from a few friends. So can I just ask?
Please.
So somebody has asked me, is it important to chant or use a stotra or a mantra or a shlokam or something to show your devotion to God?
It's Bhagavan says very, very clearly, it is not what you do, but how you do it. What you do is irrelevant. If you do it as arpanam to him, what did Kannappa Nayanar do? He gave an archana with stones. So it is a feeling, the bhaktya prayakshati. This is very important. With love, I must do. Whatever you do is perfectly okay, provided you do it with love and offering to Bhagavan. Whatever. In the Swami says very beautifully, in the spiritual journey, there are only 5 questions that you got asked. Okay, one is where, when, how, to whom, and why. I'll repeat the questions again. Where, when, how, to whom, and why. The what is absent. What is irrelevant. Okay. How? So mantra, tantra, pujai, not pujai. These are all mind should be loving to Bhagavan. Whatever helps you train that, do that. Very important.
Okay. One more question is, how do you motivate yourself to be loving all the time if there are a lot of challenges in life or hurdles or anything that you want to call it? How do you motivate yourself? How does one motivate himself or herself to be loving to anybody?
This is such an important question. The best thing is to sincerely ask for Bhagavan's grace and anugraham. The very interesting, but very truthful thing, I can tell you again from personal experience, if you ask something sincerely, truthfully, to your favorite form of God, that happens instantaneously. Okay. If you are sincerely seeking this kind of a thing, Swami, how should I be loving? How should I be loving? I guarantee you the pathway will open. The pathway can open in infinite ways. It could be a satsang may come your way. It could be a book that you open and the answer is given on a particular page, or it could be somebody telling you something. But Bhagavan will make sure that answer is given to you with clarity. Now, the second part of that question, the way I understood it, and this is probably one of the most, the highest grace one can receive from Swami, from Bhagavan, is satsangam. The company of the good is very important. And that does not happen that easily. Because if satsangam have company of the good, means not only so-called good people with good habits, that's very important practically, but company of godly people, people who are interested in talking about God, hearing about Bhagavan, that company, and seeking Bhagavan, that company, and ultimately Bhagavatas, the true Bhagavatas, not the terms that we use very loosely today, but true Bhagavatas. And so that if satsangam is given, it is incredible. So again, another thing occurred to me, answer to the question, which I wanted to share, but I forgot, is talking about paying namaskarams to one's father and mother every day. It is a very important prescription, okay? Along with that, there is another one. This applies to everybody of all ages, okay? Teja Durjana Samsargam. Run away from bad company. Run away. Don't even hesitate. And Bhaja Sadhu Samagamam. Seek the company of the good, the sadhus. So if I do that, automatically it will become easier and easier and easier. Okay. But I should not give up. Should pray to Swami and have that faith that he is guiding me. Okay. That will definitely happen. 100% guaranteed. Are you happy?
Yes, Mama. I think we can finish. If Jyoti ji would like to come also, that we would like to thank you.
Okay. Om Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om. Now, with my prayers for Mrs. Nandini and Mrs. Jyoti and their team, Bhagavan has given a very constructive thought to them. They've taken it and they're running with it. With His grace, they will grow more and more and contribute and serve the society more and more through their chosen form, which is art, music, dance, beautiful. Through that, they're spreading divinity only. And so it's a beautiful service, and my prayers and best wishes to them. Om Sri Sai Ram.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mama. Everyone, all the viewers enjoyed your talk. It was so beautifully explained with simple stories. We will definitely, all of us will try to take your message, which will be helpful throughout the year, throughout our life to practice. So thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank
May
you.
God bless you, ma. May God bless you. Namaskaram.
Thank you very much.
Namaskaram, ma.
Namaskaram.
Thank you, Mama.
Namaskaram.